Thank you for staying with us on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of Godsons, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. My name is Wisdom Thomas. Welcome on board. If ever one had thought it was a far cry, talking about May 29th, alas, it's upon us. It's only 3 days away from fruition. That's the inauguration of a new government, and for the very first time, one of a different party affiliation, one set to be led by Dr. Alex Otti, OFR. If March 18th boisterous electrifying atmosphere across the length and breadth of the state is anything to go by, then Abians are eagerly looking forward to the new era, which in the spectrum of the new government is set to provide hope and development, including progress. And it would not be surprising that from now, perhaps till around after May 29th, discussions will continue to center around this inauguration. And on the platform this morning, we will be lifting the lead on that very event slated for May 29th. And joining me in this very discussion is Honorable Acho Obioma. He's the inauguration committee chairman and served as the Director General Alex Otti Campaign Organization, a former representative of Umuahia Ekwano Federal Constituency. It's my pleasure to have you in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Good morning, Abians.
All right, welcome to this very program this morning. Let's start this way. Against all odds, 29th May is looking like a reality. I mean, despite the noise from different quarters, it is looking set to come to fruition. How does that make you feel? And do you have any idea whatsoever how the governor-elect is feeling as he continues to close in on what will be remarkable in his own life and, of course, that of the state?
Thank you very much. Like you said, Abians are eagerly waiting, very, very eagerly waiting to see the new Abia, come 29th May 2023. His Excellency is putting finishing touches, to gracing the occasion, and being received with by teaming supporters and indeed the entire obedient family across the whole world. And to that extent, he understands and knows the expectations of people. So he's working very hard, praying to God, for courage, for wisdom, and then more importantly, good health. As he marched towards 29th of May, to take over the mantle of leadership of the God's own state, Abia State. So he's working very hard, trying to find time to have exercise. Early mornings he's called up for that. That's what he does. Work out, and then start his day, and then also finding time to receive people. A lot of people are coming, cause a call and all that, but he tried to make sure that he wouldn't have much distractions so that he can focus on this journey, and then prepare to take off immediately after Monday, so that he can take off. So
if I'm wrong, then you should correct me. You are the inauguration committee chairman, so I don't envy you. The reason I don't envy you is because your work is cut out. You've been working round the clock to ensure that very program will be a success. How has it really been in terms of preparation? What extent have you gone? Have you been able to work out the mathematics? Have you dotted your I's and crossed your T's?
Yeah, we have a very strong team. His Excellency put together a strong team to midwife this, and then I'm supervising it.
Okay.
Making sure that things are put in proper perspectives and place. We have about 7 committees, working on it from different angles. The Security Committee, Logistics Committee, Finance Committee, events committee, entertainment committee, publicity committee, and etc. So everybody working together. What we do is we allow all committees have their meetings, make their proposals. We look at that as now a team, and after that, the committees go back to now commence and be working on their own. And from time to time, I bring everybody together, and then they will brief on what they've done, and then the headship of the committees will come together and look at them. If there are areas to make some amendments and then proposals, they're going to do that. And from time to time, I also report to His Excellency on how we are going, and then at least to assure him that me is also a privilege, that at this very important occasion, and then considering what Abians have gone through and expectations, I am part of this change. I had the opportunity of being part of it. I'm so grateful to God, His Excellency, and all those who have supported me in this. And then the Excellency will tell you, pay for hard work is more work. Okay, coming out of the campaigns and what we did and successful. So he believed that we can also quietly, navigate this.
Okay.
So it's not a big thing to me. And then I have a good team that is working very hard. And His Excellency is always on hand to also offer some directions and advice when needed appropriately. So it's going well.
Okay, we'll come down to specifics, but before we go there, let's look at the theme. I learned this very inauguration was termed "The Help Is Here," and for some, they may have little knowledge of what that is all about, the significance of that very theme, and to many, they may not know. Can you kindly tell us why the theme "Help is Here"? What's the significance in the long run in the lives of Abians going forward?
Yeah, thank you very much. The Abians situation is a peculiar one. Okay, and some persons will tell you that since the beginning of the democratic dispensation of 1999 up to now, it has not been Uhuru for Abia people. And that Abia had lagged very, very backward and behind. And there's no saying about it. Everybody can say it, both mentally, physically, everything. No organization, no leadership, that had come. It's just business as usual. Wait for money to come from Abuja, distribute it the same way they do it, put in, so many things have gone wrong, and Abians have been crying for it. Pensioners are crying, workers are crying, individuals are crying, everything. So, His Excellency have made a lot of attempts to see if he can have opportunity, to change the narratives, knowing where he's coming from, what he's made of, what he can offer, to the people. And thank God it happened. When we were campaigning, because of all I have enumerated about the feelings on ground and the situation on ground. So the Excellency during the campaign, continued to ask Abians to not to cry anymore. Even though that met with a lot of resistance, if you go to our billboards and they say, weep no more, help is on the way. The opposition were angry about it. We were reminding people, we were just stating the obvious.
It was the party in power then.
Yes,
they are still in power.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said then, the party in power saw that as a reminder to the people that, they have failed or what things were not going on very well. So they destroyed our billboards because of that particular team. And today, we've achieved it by God's grace. And then His Excellency is saying, weep no more. That help that was on the way is already here. And from 29th, it will just come, and it will show clearly that, yes, His Excellency has come to wipe our tears, and then has come to bring joy, in the heart and minds of everybody. And that he's prepared for the job, because he understands the job and what to do to change, the narratives.
Let's look at the events now. Having looked at the theme, and you've been able to demystify the reason or the enigma of that very team, help is on the way. Let's look at the event. It is set to be in 2 segments, isn't it? Yes. And what are they?
Okay, actually I could say, it's 2 segments, okay, in terms of the periods and all that. One, we have the Thanksgiving. Okay. We have the prayer section, that will start on Saturday. Okay, to thank God and also seek for divine intervention and help, and direction from God, You know, the men of God are going to do that at the Mugwa High School Aba. Okay. Then after that, on the 4th, after the inauguration, there will be a Thanksgiving. So that is on the religious angle, and then giving those days to God and worship. Okay. Now the second one had to do with the inauguration proper. Okay. And then within the inauguration date, which is the 29th, we have 2 events that will happen. The first will be His Excellency officially, you know, taking oath, and then taking the mantle of leadership there. And then there, people will be entertained, you know, by musical concerts, so many things. People will give you an opportunity to just express themselves.
If you don't mind, Abians are listening and they would want to know some of these things. If you don't mind, you could just be elaborate with that.
Oh yeah, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, we have brought a lot of the video of artists who are going to come and perform.
Okay.
The Bass came out, all those, they're going to be there to entertain Abians that day. Okay. So that's why immediately after the swearing in, okay, we still have some time, some 1 or 2 hours to spend there, okay, where His Excellency will mount guard of honor, move around, you know, the local government will also move around, salute, and he will go around to, you know, facilitate with people and all that. And then we'll also use that to entertain some people. You know, we're going to provide food and all that, you know, those who are going to come, because, you know, the only burden we'll have is that it's difficult to determine the number of persons that are going to come. Very, very difficult. Knowing that it's open. Outside the invitations we are giving to certain categories, the other categories that are going to come on their own, they have their own spaces, they have their own places.
What were the criteria in giving out those very invitations?
Yeah, the invitations, we are looking at some very important personalities, you know, maybe former governors, you know, the leadership of the Labour Party, former speakers, former members of National Assembly, former commissioners, all those, and then captains of industries. All, you know, His Excellency is known all over the world and has friendship across. So many people are coming, not just Abians. So those people who are coming, those personalities, we decided to reserve areas that they will stay. So that made us to carve out those areas and then give them invitations. So only those with those invites will sit in those areas. We are targeting probably about 2,000 persons to do that. You know, use the platform of the stadium, you know, where you have the VIPs and VVIPs to sit. And then we also have canopies where we also decorate for VIPs, you know, so to stay. Then the other platforms they use for, you know, match will be used by party faithfuls who are coming from all over local government and all that. They will sit and they will be properly taken care of and all that. Then maybe after some hours, then we have another invitation for certain persons His Excellency wants to host within this VIP and VVIPs too. So he has another invitation. And that particular one, if you don't have the invitation, you know, it will not be proper to come. Because
but there is a place for Abians who would wish to come in the scheme of things.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those that will be entertained in the field to make sure everybody is taken care of will be done there. But His Excellency is going to use the ICC Center, which is the second ceremony, okay, to now welcome and then thank those, you know, appreciate some persons who have come from far and near, okay, to witness this and to, you know, pay him solidarity and all that. So that will happen in ICC Center. That place work is ongoing, you know, the place is being put together to make sure that and that place we don't have also unlimited, you know, seats. So to that extent, it's gonna be, you know, come with your invitation and then you'll be allowed. If you don't have the invitation, there won't be any point coming in another.
I mean, trying to draw inference with what we saw March 18th, where the entire state was agog in the aftermath of his victory during the election, it is safe to say that the numbers may just be on a high trajectory. How about security? What are the plans? Were there plans in place, the modalities to checkmate the influx of vehicle, the caliber of people around there? Are you people doing anything in that very aspect?
Yeah, the security committee is working around the clock with the formal security. And then we also have the informal security that we're using to guide and then make sure that people fall in place and do the right things there. So it's going to be a huge challenge. But we have done enough to mobilize the police and the security architecture of the state to make sure they provide security. We've also mapped out, road maps, how people will move and where they have to go and all that. Some areas will be blocked. We don't expect cars to drive to the stadium. We have provided Ibeko High School as a parking lot, and then the cars will be very well guided there and all that. And then people will walk down, or those will provide buses that will move people from where they park their car from Ibeko High School into the stadium. Okay. So it makes it easier. We don't want the Ibeko stadium, okay, to be jammed up, okay, by vehicles and all that. So we'll appeal to people, and then probably, most importantly, our invited guests, and then give them direction where they will move to, so that it will be easier to move them from that point to that. Those who are coming from the local government, other party supporters, will also have the same areas they will be parking their buses and then walk down to the place. The good thing is that the Obidien family, they respect, rules. If you watch even during the campaigns, where you see millions of persons in a rally, even with PO, you won't hear of any problem that came up. The good thing is that people who attend labor or obedient events come with their mind, to support, to make sure it will work. Nobody comes with negative idea. Even if they come, they don't eat or eat, they are fine. No struggles, people do it. So that is why we are not worried, knowing that there will be a huge crowd, okay, and knowing how they act when they come to such this thing. We are very optimistic that we won't have any problems. We are going to deal with the issues of the crowd. We'll manage what we can do. We also try to make sure the area that our special visitors are going to be will be protected good enough, okay? So that everybody will have his space, have his time, and enjoy himself, because it's the day of enjoying and praising God and thanking God, Like you said, what happened the day he was announced winner? It was not just Abia. The whole world, celebrated it, jubilated in that. And that's why Dr. Alex decided that, yes, we know the nature of the problems and we're going to face, and then lack of resources for that. So everybody will expect, why do an elaborate celebration, okay, when you know all these issues. But he said too that Abia is going to be a focus. Everybody's going to watch Abia. People want to celebrate. You're not going to stop Abians from coming to celebrate. So let's prepare for it, and make it elaborate as possible. But that does not mean there is any extravagancies or another, nothing like that. Okay.
If you're just tuning in, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions here on Flow 94.9 FM. And if you had followed from the get-go, we are looking at May 29th, the inauguration of the Governor-elect Dr. Alex Otti OFR of the Labour Party come that very day. And we've been looking at the dynamics, we've been looking at that very program, what is set to be obtainable on that very day. And I've been speaking with Honorable Acho Obioma, who is the Inauguration Committee Chairman, and of course served as the Director General, Alex Otti Campaign Organization, and a former House of Representatives member, represented Umuahia and Ikwano Federal Constituency. We are due for a break, so we could go up down H2O. When we return, we will continue the conversation this morning. Stay with us. Thank you once again for staying with us. It is the pinnacle of all discussions, and this morning, no less, our attention is focused on May 29th, where Abians are eagerly waiting, anticipating what they want to be in the form of a watershed in terms of administration and different other things across the state and across the board. And this morning, joining me to look at that very event for May 29th is Honorable Acho Obioma. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for still being here.
Good morning once more.
Okay, let's talk something more serious than May 29th. As an insider, I'm sure you are privy to the transition committee. You've perhaps followed through during the moment of incubation to the point where they hatched the egg, laid it, and all of that. Can you confirm to us that they've now sent their report to the governor-elect, and how does he feel about it? And if you don't mind, it would be nice if you can tell us maybe the headline recommendations in that very report.
Yeah, thank you very much. I witnessed the inauguration of that committee.
Okay.
And then also the submission of the report last Sunday. That His Excellency went and then wounded up the committee, even though he has asked the committee that they will transform into advisory board, okay, going forward. So from time to time, he can resort back to them too if there are things he needed clarification from their report. I haven't seen the report per se, but that day they gave the highlights of the report.
Okay. Can you kindly share with Abians
what they think should happen? First of all, they acknowledge the enormity of work. That before they started the job, they didn't know that it was that bad, rotten. But in the course of the 1 month job, where they made visitations and so many things, and then interacted, it got done on them that they had a whole lot in their hands, and that the activities was going to, in very clear terms, and then help out in redeeming the fate and the state of things in Abia State. So the committee were made up of very important persons of note, and then His Excellency's assemblage was good. He knew everybody and then brought the right persons. So both from the education sector to the housing sector to the medical sector and all that. So they had those reports. But there were a few things they pointed out. They looked at how to source for funds. Okay. Because they believe that, yes, for you to make the change, then you must be able to have the enough resources to do that. And looking at Abia and what comes from the federation account, it was going to look very difficult for him to make any meaningful impact, relying on such. So they concentrated on the revenue side of it, on how he can raise revenue.
Did it include having to go for loans?
Why not? It's all about the loans are not anything bad, but it depends on what you are borrowing for. If you are borrowing for infrastructure and people see it there, the multiplier effect of that, okay, will show that yes, governments are encouraged to also seek for loan. All over the world that happens. If they tell you how much money America is owing, presently there is a lot of debate going on in the House in America over debt ceiling and all that and all that and all that. So it's not something negative. It's just that when you borrow, when people in authority borrow for their pockets, those money disappear into thin air, doesn't get to the destination, not for whatever it is borrowed for. So for His Excellency, borrowing part of it, but we also have to look inwards. Aba is like Lagos, Aba is like Onitsha. All the states that have this kind of volume of trade happening within their state can be sure that they can raise enough money without even going there. Yes, they can borrow initially, to provide the infrastructure, okay, and then they will come back to now place some taxes. His Excellency believes that taxes are good, but it must be a tax that you are taking out of somebody's prosperity. If you create an enabling environment, like let's say you have 1 million traders in Aba, and then their rules are smooth, everything that will make them prosper in their business will be put in place by government. You can come back and say, listen, you are making 2,000 naira, okay, every day. Can I get 100 naira for it? So that I continue to provide all these things for you. The person will be happy. Because you're not asking him to use his capital to give you. It's because you have made him to make profit. You have provided how he had made money. You have taught the person how to fish. From the fish and whatever he had next and all that, he will come back and say thank you. That's what that means. When you help people and help somebody to get to a prosperity where he is happy, making money, making a living, he'll come back and carry a drink. I come and give you, oh, thank you. You know, you are the one that gave me this job, oh, and this job, is helping me and my family. This is your due. You pay respect. So that's what it is in terms of government too, where government provide infrastructure, even borrow money to do all those things. You come back and say, oh, this is what we're doing. I'm willing to pay 5,000 naira every month. So from that 5,000, we'll go back and offset the loans. People will be happy to do it. That is the approach is going to be. So ABBA is key. And they pointed it out in that report. Okay. But if you can get ABBA right, okay, and the traders are happy, and you provide gateways where people will come in to do business with them and go out, do you understand? And raise and increase their volume and all that, they can be sure that every money you need, you don't need to wait for any federal government. You'll get the money to develop the state. And we're happy about it. I know from our side, Excellency being an economist, that has also been his focus. And what this people did was to, yes, you are thinking right, and this is where we are. Secondly, they believe that capital flight might not be the best for any economy. Okay, what I mean is that you develop the state, you develop the people.
Okay.
Use the people to develop the state and provide jobs for them. Okay? You have to build a lot of contractors. You have local contractors. Encourage them. Okay? If you have foreign contractors that want to come in, also find a way to integrate them with local contractors, so that a greater percentage of what they're making, is still left within the state. Okay, the local content, all those who are working, all the inputs that they're going to use and all that should be locally sourced. And with that, it's going to create a lot of jobs for our people. And by the time you create jobs and take people out of the street, okay, you find that security issues will reduce. His Excellency right from time has always believed that when you get people gainfully employed, all those who are not hardened criminals, who went into crime for want of what to do, for hardship, will be out of it. And you find out that the hardened criminals will be very few, very, very negligible. And then you can use the instrumentality of the state, to wipe out that, at least to the barest minimum. Okay? So their report is too on job creation, okay, how you can create jobs. And I also know too, during the campaigns, they're looking at the manifesto of His Excellency, okay, that this is also paramount and key to what he's doing. So what the Transition Committee did was actually look at His Excellency's manifesto, okay, now give him a roadmap on achieving those. Do you understand? When you bring experts, when you say, oh, I want to build a house, that's what you want to build. It's an intention. You need to bring an architect, another architect, who's going to guide you on how you do that. So that Transition Committee, was put in place, and draw experts from everywhere to look at his ideas that he puts on paper, as his manifesto. And then they'll be able to direct him, this is the way, we've read the way you want to go about it, but we think this is the better way to go about it. So he's going to juxtapose his own ideas and their own idea and bring it together for greater good of the people. So the Transition Committee did a whole lot of job in all the sectors, particularly in agriculture section and all that.
And so it's key I ask this question too.
Yes.
Do you think he will implement all of those recommendations, in his first tenure, hit the ground running as quickly as possible, or you think he may shelve some of them and go about things his own way?
No. He also promised them that he was going to do that, that he was going to look at, because he knows the caliber of persons and what they can bring on board. So it's not something he can bring, assemble those persons, and then turn around to jettison the report. He thanked them and said he was going to. That's why he now said they are going to become advisory. So from time to time, he runs into any hitch, trying to implement that, he will resort back to them. And then they will also be able to put him through. So he's going to look at that. And they've also asked him that there should be a monthly report briefing,
okay,
of the people. Because now, this is time for confidence building. This time for confidence building. Abians have lost hope in government and governance. So you now need to bring their attention. People will keep looking forward. Oh, His Excellency, Dr. Alex is going to brief us this day. Let us see where he's going. Let us see what he has been able to do. So even those who are not on ground, who are outside, who believe in him, will also be able to read what he's doing and how he's going, to be sure that, yes, this is what they expected, and he's going accordingly like that. So he's going to be making sure that he'll be briefing the people at all times and carrying people and explain to them what he's doing, and then also asking communities if there are things that they need, that they think the government is not looking in that direction, they'll also be able to make it known to the government.
Okay, when it looks, Uhuru, that's the committee, the transition committee set up by 101-man committee set up by Dr. Alex Otti, the governor-elect. Can we switch to the joint committee, which incorporates those of the incumbent government and, of course, that of his own people? Yeah. What's the stage at the moment? Have they now handed in the report to the governor-elect? Has things become even better? Because there were reports making the rounds that the relationship was frosty. At some point, they were non-cooperating with some of the demands of the people from his camp. Have they now turned in a report?
The truth is that from the onset, even from the inception of the setting up the committee, Dr. Alex wasn't too worried, okay, about or bothered or there must be all this interface and all that, knowing that such interface maybe might create some disagreement. What he set up was a team that will liaise with them, whatever documents, whatever thing that they have prepared as handover notes, okay, will be able to be transferred to the committee. And then if there are one or two questions in terms of explanations, what they're giving them, they'll be able to do that. So it wasn't like experts who were going to engage government to scrutinize government. So it wasn't that kind of committee.
But have they now sent the report?
No, they've not sent the report, to my knowledge. That committee, somehow, we withdrew our own people and joined them in this inaugural committee. The reason was very clear. The government or those who represent the government made it very clear that you can't get a final report that the government was still running. Okay. That the government, that the tenure of this government will end on 29th, and that activities are still happening. So no submission that can be final submission. So what we thought is that allow us put all the records together, get the things and all that. At the end of the day, we'll be able to hand over all the documents at one go. And then the pump checks are there anyway, and all that.
Safe to say there is confidence.
Yes. So what we do for whatever is what, we agree with them to do their job, and whatever the documents they have, they'll be able to submit to the incoming government. Okay. It's no longer a question of coming to interface and then be exchanging words and all that. So Dr. Alex is not a troublesome person. So you just felt it had to be that way.
We must agree that whatever happened on March 18th, wherein we are set to experience a new government under a new party by May 29th going forward, we are still Abians and will continue to be Abians. What has come into question is the relationship between the outgoing governor and, of course, the incoming governor. Up until now, can you tell Abians that both persons have sat down to have a chit chat to talk about what it was under the tutelage of Dr. Okeze Bazo and what it could be under Dr. Alex Otti? Have they been able to sit down and then talk things through amid reports of heated relationship between them? Such interface
that is a huge one. A lot of people meet with Dr. Alex that I don't know. Okay, he had not informed me or had not told me that he had a meeting or he didn't have a. I don't know.
But if such thing happened, you should know, shouldn't you?
Yes, I can't say yes or no, because sometimes unless I try to inquire. I haven't really bothered to inquire about all those. But what I can say is that I don't think there is any personality clash. I don't think there is any problem that borders on persons or their persons. Okay, I'm sure that in terms of duties and what is expected, maybe they've had cause to maybe exchange that. I'm not too sure, but I know that His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti, Governor-elect, had discussions with the SSG. Okay. Severally to put things together, what we need and what we want to do and all that. So to that extent, the government knows what is on our own side coming. You know how it is after the elections that the incumbent government generally got surprised, okay, as if they were not expecting defeat. Okay, but if they were truthful to themselves, they would have known that they were going to lose the election. For me, I knew from the first day that if we do the right things, that we're going to win them. Okay, the situation in Abia cannot give anybody confidence that if you're in the ruling government, that you're going to win, because unless they were deceiving themselves. Because it was very clear to everybody that people wanted them to go, not just today, over previous elections. What was missing was there have not been credible election. This time there was something close to it.
You are alleging that there hasn't been credible election.
No, there have not been all over in Abia State.
Allegedly.
No, in Abia State, we all know that what had happened is that after elections, you see people will be waiting and they'll be waiting for Almighty Obioma or some part of Fungwa to come in where they have manipulated the result, which they tried to do this time, and then caught up with them. It couldn't happen. So their focus was on that rigging they always do. It was not on the election proper. Because on the election proper, they were very sure they would lose. When they lost, to them it was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me or even to anybody. We were very sure. That's why you saw us, we were campaigning, hitting the ground, doing the right things, knowing that what we needed to do was to do proper planning and appeal to INEC to do the right thing. And INEC Abia followed the judicial and make sure that, listen, if we've been doing this before for these guys, man, it's been hurting everybody, including them. Let's do it right this time. And they stood their grounds. That's why you didn't see the Obioma thing. That's why you didn't see the Obioma thing. And all these places, they've been manipulating and writing fictitious names and claiming this. And now, it is very clear the voting power and population of different areas. So I believe that no love lost. The elections had come and gone. Dr. Alex Otti have won the election. On the 29th of May, he's going to be the governor for everybody, including Dr. Okezi. So, and he's not going to, like he said, no witch hunting. He's going to focus on leadership. He's going to focus on changing narratives. The expectations are very, very high. Pressures are there, on what he has to do. He has to focus on that. But that will also include that Abians must be on the right path and things must change. And if there are things that are here and there, those things can also be sorted out and looked at and make sure that everybody will be happy for Abian people.
You've alluded to the fact that he has his work cut out really well in terms of trying to revamp the state all round.
Yeah, yes.
And again, one of the key things that would be very instrumental if ever is going to succeed, which of course Abians and everyone out there from outside looking in is expecting that he will succeed, it means having to make the right decisions. Does it include on May 29th making big announcement of those who will be key in his government? Are we set to get names of those who will occupy different sensitive positions in his government? Should we look forward to May 29th with that very knowledge?
Yeah, anything can be expected, okay? But the Alex is keeping a whole lot of things to chess. He likes to consult and see how, people will be carried.
Safe to say he's leaving us in suspense.
Yes, I'm sure he might make one or two pronouncements and all that. For him, yes, the governance starts on the 29th, okay? But that does not mean that if you don't hear him make pronouncements on this person is occupying this and occupying that, that means that he has not started. No. People are also working. You understand? People are working. All those appointments are for the sake of it, in terms of, this and that. But I can be sure that There's no way he will finish his speeches without probably making 1 or 2 appointments that should ordinarily start from day one to guide what he's doing.
Okay, it is time to open the phone lines and get to hear from you. If you are just tuning in, it means you've missed a whole lot. Sorry about that. You need to be punctual next time. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, the back end is where we are currently. And our discussion this morning has centered on May 29th inauguration involving the incoming administration of Dr. Alex Choma Otti OFR of the Labour Party. And like Honorable Acho Obioma stated, is going to be governor for the entire state going forward. Thank you very much for staying here, and if you don't mind, we open up the phone lines now. 0808182649 or 0811-605-2949. You can send a message to 090-65108-289. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wheezy.
Good to have you
my name
the conversation.
Yes, thank you. Yes, my name is Chief Ndubisi Owadinek from Ba.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to salute my friend and good brother there, Cholen, Acho Obioma, for his foresight in dumping the rickety vehicle that he was in and joining the Labour Party at the appropriate time. And I want to salute the courage of Dr. Alex Otti, the tenacity he has in ensuring that those things that he found lacking in the administration of Abian State, he came in to correct. And by the grace of God, all Abians, including myself, gave him our vote there. And I want to assure you that with Chomen, the man I know, Chomen, who is his DG campaign coordinator, he will surely succeed. 29th of May is going to be smooth, it's going to be hilarious, it's going to be effective.
Thank you very much.
Static.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Now, God will be with them.
All right. It's good I say something. There is no need throwing jibe at anybody. So when you call in, just go straight to the point, react to the issue on the front burner, no jibes. I mean, it's uncalled for this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, our anchorman in the house.
Good to have you join us. Name and location, Flow.
Good morning, Honorable Chomen.
Good morning.
This is Norman the Prophet from Umuaya. I thank you so much. Whenever I listen to you, I learn 1 or 2 things from the way you speak. I thank you. I thank God who has made it possible that it is just few days to the inauguration day. But I want to beg the new administration for one thing. Please, let the new administration avoid gossip. There are people that will come for gossip. Let him avoid them. Because these are the people that after will try to pull down the government. So I pray that we'll take them away, and those psychopaths, those people that doesn't see good things in administration of people, will never see this administration. This administration will work well. They will excel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's take more calls. Morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wisdom Thomas.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable Acho Obioma.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Obident Chai, the fine Levi Fekoditon. I'm calling from Mumu and one in Omuabara.
Okay.
Yeah, Honorable, we have said it all. We know you when you are in APC, you did well, and now you are in Labour. You are as a DG to Dr. Choma Alex Otti, and you did a better job.
Yes,
so we believe on you, and we believe on Dr. Alex Otti.
Yeah.
So we are asked. I want to ask for a favor, Honorable, as 29 is already near, and Dr. Choma Alex Otti is going to be the governor of Abian State. Please, when Dr. Alex Otti is doing a project on under road and education, please, I beg you, sir, let it remain Omuawa people. Omuawa people have neglected by this government that are going to move out on 29th of May. The PDP party, they have rejected Omuawa people. So we are begging you, please let him remember Omuawa people and Omuapara. Omuapara Ring Road. That road has been a very, very bad.
Thank you very much, because others would love to have a go to 080818269949 or 0811605299. Morning.
Good morning, Wizzy.
Go ahead. Good to have you join us.
I'm calling from Omai.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The expectation is very high on the incoming administration.
Yes.
My prayer has always been that the incoming government will live up to expectation.
Amen.
Just like somebody said, avoid psychophancy, because we have known and seen what government of psychophancy, how it helped Abia and where it has kept Abia. Please, let the development go around, because it's all about the interest of Abia, and it's going to be about the progress of Abia State. I wish the incoming government well. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your take this morning. Let's take another call. Morning.
Good morning, Wizzy.
Good to have you join the conversation.
Good morning, Honorable Chuma in the house.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Thank you. I remember Mr. Prince Willusog from here in Omonachobo. Thank you on the way you have analyzed them.
Yeah.
On the way the government is going to develop our state Abia.
Yes.
But a little question I'm going to ask is this. Men knowing actually that Abia State is the highest in the numerical strength of workers in the southeast, how are you going to cope with co-workers and parastatals and agencies problem in Abia State? Secondly, in as much as we are about to welcome the new administration come 29th of this month, what effort our party is doing to stop this unacceptable Kano State judgment that if you don't kill, may affect the inauguration? That's my question. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll let him react now. Before we take
okay, thank you very much. On the bloated civil service, and then the problem of the agencies, from what we hear from government is that the agencies are giving subvention, and they're supposed to in turn return whatever they make to the government, and then be able to take care of their workers. And that's why you have issues of non-payment and all that of those agencies. For me, it's all about leadership. If you put the right leadership, and people know that they be giving subvention, they are supposed to give services, areas that are supposed to charge money, those monies are accounted for. You agree with me that people are just giving positions to use them to settle them. They use those positions to settle them, and people just go make their own money, harass people, do all kinds of things. So, totalists will not tolerate that. The money of the government to be for the people. And anybody that is working under him must stand and do the job. You can't be civil service, you are doing business outside during working hours. There won't be any conflict whatsoever. So those who will not be able to go by the rules and do the right things, they better think twice and see whether they can find themselves out of that place. But I can tell you, the Dr. Otti is going to provide the right leadership and management skills that all these whole problems will be a thing of the past, and people will be paid salaries. Those who deserve salaries, there will be a lot of investigations into the workforce and what it is, and then get it right. On the Kanu rubbish they are doing, the Abia had nothing to do with all those. But you know, people will not stop at nothing just to create confusion, and then they go about, giving themselves hope and using our money to procure things. It's not going to work. Whatever judgment, as bad as whatever it is, or rubbish as it looks, that has been appealed. That has been appealed. And the moment that is appealed, the render is important until the appeal court looks into it. So there is no fear at all. Everything is going to work accordingly.
Let's take more calls.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Excellent is my name. So, man, you are listed.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank
Thank God. Thank God.
When a righteous man is talking, you know a righteous man is talking.
Yes.
So, man, please, I want to advise you. People. As I'm talking to you now, they are so close. Those sacrifices that have been eaten to 24 years are so close. You see that very day you see them, they are jumping into Labour Party. So there is no connection between light and darkness. I don't want anybody to disrupt this man that has been elected by Abians. His father is being created. It's now that we have seen election, that we have conducted election, that people elected somebody there. So I'm pleased. I want people to maintain those people that are genuine people, because when we are with faith, that has been my anthem. You cannot make the main original.
Excellent.
So we are dealing with faith. Original has come. That's why they are not happy. Even that very day, they may stand the rent.
Thank you very much, Excellent.
I've been praying. I'm a seer.
Thank you very much, Excellent. Thank you, Excellent. Let's take another one. Morning. Perhaps the very last. Morning.
Morning. How are you, sir?
Very well. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, please, what I want to say this morning is, there's a lot of sickle fans, those who are looking for favor.
Yeah.
Our dear coming government should be very careful. You know, a lot of congratulatory messages has been going on, and people are trying to fix themselves with the governor. The governor should be very, very careful once he assumes office. Go away with sycophants.
Okay.
Those who will come and rubbish him.
Okay, thank
Those
you.
People
thank
that
you
are
very
saying,
much. Thank you very much. I need to let you go because of time constraint. This one says, I really appreciate Honorable Obioma for intimating Abians on the activities of the transition from the previous government to a better government. That's how it had to rejig the sentences there so it could sound very rational. Okay. Let's get your final words. This one says, finally, God has answered our prayer in Abia State. I wish Dr. Alex Otti a very sound administration and congratulations. And perhaps I have to join to say congratulations to Dr. Alex Otti, the incoming governor, and of course those who will work alongside him. Your final words as we leave the studio.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate people's worries, and the Bible tells us that God came for the sinners, not for the righteous. Okay? So, Dr. Alex is not going to be governor for only the obedient or those who have always wanted good things for Abia, including those who have also caused our woes and hardship. He is also for them. What is important that people will change, turn a new leaf. There is no time it's too late to turn a new leaf or to repent. And I believe that our people are used to, conforming, unless you don't have the right leadership. If Nigerians who urinate all over the place, who do so many unholy things, step into Europe or America, the moment they step in there, they conform with the things that happen there and the rules and laws of that area. So I believe that with the right leadership, everybody will conform. Okay. It's not only for Labour Party, even the PDP people, those who want to come. When you come into a house and see how decent the house and how the house is managed, you can't come and start creating another thing. So we believe that those people, as they come into Labour Party or even to this government, you will see them, they will just turn a new leaf and things will go for the better.
Thank you very much. Honorable Acho Obioma, the Inauguration Committee Chairman and served as the Director General Alex Otti Campaign Organization. He was a former lawmaker that represented Umuahia Ikwano Federal Constituency. Thank you very much for coming on the platform this morning and, of course, intimating Abians on what lies ahead, especially commencing from 29th May. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abians. I appreciate every one of you for listening. God bless you.
Let me equally appreciate my producer, Samson Eze. Thank you very much for your assiduous work. To the men behind the visuals, Charles and Stanko, thank you very much. And to Stephanie, my name is Wisdom Thomas. The platform will make a return, same time, same station next week. Have a lovely Friday, and bye-bye for now.